If you thought Moff Gideon was bad, you just wait until you see Admiral Thrawn make his way to the world of live action. I don't know about you, but I haven't quite emotionally recovered from The Mandalorian Season 2, and I'm not sure if I ever will. I'm still trying to get over the tragedy episode, let alone that finale. So, although I am not emotionally prepared for this, I'm gonna start talking about The Mandalorian Season 3 as well as the upcoming spin-off show Ahsoka. In particular, the live-action casting of presumably the main antagonist, Admiral Thrawn. Mithron Nuru Odo, aka Thrawn, is a member of the Chiss species and is a remarkable strategist with an imposing figure and is a constant Thrawn in the rebellion's side. He's also the one Ahsoka is looking for as she seeks to find the location of Ezra Bridger. Thrawn will be a key figure for the franchise moving forward, but who could play such a part? Well, we have a couple of suggestions. If Disney decides to go with a new actor to play the role of Admiral Thrawn, the fan favorite is seemingly Benedict Cumberbatch. In a fan poll taken by Fandom, Cumberbatch was the clear favorite, and although this poll doesn't represent the entire fan base, it is clear to see why he was picked. Ever since the release of Sherlock in 2010, Cumberbatch has been dazzling fans and stealing people's hearts, my girlfriends included. Cumberbatch has often played the hero, playing characters like Sherlock, Doctor Strange, and Alan Turing, but he also has experience playing intimidating villains such as Smaug and, most notably, Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness. Cumberbatch has the screen presence, gravitas, physical stature, and heavenly voice needed to play a character like Thrawn, and seeing as he's played characters like Sherlock and Turing, we have no problems imagining him as a genius always one step ahead of everyone, just like Thrawn. Fans were accepting of Rosario Dawson playing the part of Ahsoka over the original voice actor Ashley Eckstein, and it would be hard to not accept someone as charming as Big Ben. But despite the powerful allure of Cumberbatch, seriously, my girlfriend is obsessed, I'm kinda worried, my personal favorite is the great Lars Mikkelsen. If there is any actor who knows the character best, it is certainly Mikkelsen, seeing as he is the original voice for the character. His cold and calculating, commanding, yet soft-spoken voice was perfect for the character and gave us mere mortals chills down our spines. But even if he wasn't the original voice actor, I'd still want him to play the part. While a number of talented voice actors have never had the opportunity to play their parts on screen, take Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as Batman and the Joker for example, Mikkelsen has the physical presence needed for the part. Standing at 6'3", Mikkelsen has a commanding demeanor on screen, seen in his performances in House of Cards and alongside Cumberbatch in Sherlock, in a truly chilling and aggravating performance. It's not just the voice where his talents lie, and seeing him play Thrawn on screen would be amazing. Next on the list is British actor Hugh Laurie, because let's face it, is there any other nationality better at playing the villains than the Brits? At 6'1", Laurie again has the height and physical presence needed to play Thrawn, and also has that gravitas and experience playing intelligent characters needed for the character. He's also older and more experienced than some of the others on this list, which would match the character's age. Also, Laurie is more of a TV star than a movie star, so is arguably more attainable than the likes of Cumberbatch and other actors on this list. Although, Disney certainly has the resources and allure to bring any actor into the Star Wars world. I mean, they managed to get Bill Burr in. If, however, you associate Laurie with his roles in House and Avenue 5, though, or even Blackadder, and are struggling to see him as a villain, be sure to check out the limited series adaptation of John le Carré's The Night Manager. His performance will blow your mind. If we can get some fan art for this, we would love to see it. Keeping on the train of potential British actors to play the part, we move on to Lucius Malfoy actor Jason Isaacs. Isaac's arrogant and elitist performance as Lucius is perfect for an Imperial Admiral, and like all the actors on this list, he has a commanding and powerful presence that is so hard to replicate. He even kinda looks like Thrawn, which I know is weird seeing as he's a blue-skinned, red-eyed alien, but I mean, they kinda look alike, right? One thing that plays against Isaacs, though, is that he himself also voices a Rebels character, with him playing the part of the Inquisitor.
Welcome.
Benedict Cumberbatch may have been first on the fan poll, but hot on his heels was another highly talented actor, Michael Fassbender. Fassbender has provided some sensational performances in the likes of 12 Years a Slave, Prometheus, and X-Men Days of Future Past, and certainly has the ability to play the character as well as looking somewhat similar. He is a certified scene stealer and definitely has that level of intimidation and intelligence needed for the character. But one thing that arguably plays against him is his age, with some fans, myself included, feeling that despite the fact that he's 43, he still feels a little too young for the role. Well, we've gone through a boatload of talented actors so far, so why stop now? Another actor who has that unmistakable commanding on-screen presence and physicality along with the cold, hard intelligence is Hugo Weaving. Weaving, who has played antagonists such as Agent Smith and Red Skull, feels like a great fit as an Imperial Leader, and we could also easily see him giving Ahsoka and Mando some heck down the line. At 6'2", he also has the height as well as the stare that, simply put, cuts through to your very soul. Whether Weaving would be interested in joining the Star Wars world, though, is unclear, but we can always hope. The name's Thrawn, Admiral Thrawn. But that would be the joke if James Bond actor Pierce Brosnan plays the part. Brosnan, again, certainly has that air of authority about him, as well as unwavering charm. Also, judging by the mural created for the 2019 Star Wars celebration, has a striking resemblance to the character. At 6'1", he has the height, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, has the required gravitas to play the part. Also, going off his works in movies such as The Foreigner, he also makes a pretty darn good villain. Again, anyone good with Photoshop? But Brosnan isn't the only James Bond actor who could smash the part of Thrawn, with Brosnan's Bond predecessor, Timothy Dalton, also making a great fit. Dalton is another brilliant thespian with a commanding, booming voice, and is another who is front and center when on screen. At 6'1", he again has the height, and he has a smug and cunning face that would certainly fit for Thrawn, who is always ahead of the game. Also, Dalton seems to be at his best and having the most fun when he's playing the villain, judging by his roles in Hot Fuzz and Chuck, both of which he performs with infectious energy. Now, one thing we've kind of been assuming while making this list is that the actor playing Thrawn would be playing both the voice and the body, but this might be wrong to assume. Disney could opt for a fully CGI character or a character slapped with a bunch of prosthetics. This would mean, like James Earl Jones as well as Pedro Pascal and Mark Hamill in The Mandalorian, one of the actors listed would just provide the voice and/or likeness. All of the actors on this list can certainly provide the voice, but who would provide the body? Well, one actor that certainly has to be in contention is Doug Jones. Jones is known for his physical performances with heavy prosthetics, especially in a number of Guillermo del Toro works such as Pan's Labyrinth, Shape of Water, and Hellboy. He also has experience performing in sci-fi, playing the part of Saru in Star Trek Discovery. Last on the list, before we move on to the honorable mentions, is another fan favorite, Lee Pace. At 6'5", Pace is one of the tallest and most physically imposing actors on this list, and is seemingly the go-to in Hollywood for these types of characters, with his roles in Guardians of the Galaxy and The Hobbit respectively. As Ronan the Accuser in Guardians, his performance was somewhat overshadowed by the ensemble cast, but given the room to breathe, he could provide a menacing performance with his soft-spoken yet commanding voice, also perfectly suited for the character of Thrawn. Plus, he looks good in blue. To be honest, there are still a ton of other actors who also would make a great Thrawn, so here are a few honorable mentions. John Hamm, Ian Glenn, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Richard E. Grant, although the latter has already appeared in Rise of Skywalker. But the most important question is, what do you think?